Welcome back to the Apple Bowl here in Kelowna, where the Okanagan Sun taking on the Vancouver Island Raiders in a BCFC semifinal match that features the Raiders with a 7-1 halftime lead. My name is Evan Cook alongside Carson Park for this one as we look to a few of the stats that we got in from the first half of football. Things jumping out here. Why don't you go through what we see here in the first half?
Well, just rushing. Both teams doing fairly good job rushing. Sun with 71 yards, Raiders at 50. Passing game, though, quarterbacks, Zyla's at 10 for 19 for 74. And the two picks are really what jump out there. You can't have any more of that going into the second half. And then Jake LeBerge with 6 for 11 at 69 yards and a TD. A little bit better going on that side of the ball. Both teams real even though on first downs, 7 first downs for the Raiders and 8 for the Sun. And then on penalties, we were talking a lot about that in the first half, but there weren't actually that many penalties. They were just very timely and costly for both teams, keeping points off the board on both ends of the ball. But there was only 5 penalties for the Sun for 50 yards and 6 for the Raiders for 75. So nothing that abnormal. We typically see about 10 to 15 a team at the end of the game. So that's right on pace for normal. It felt like a lot going on.
Yeah, and the Raiders are actually one of the more disciplined teams in the BCFC. They average a little over 12 penalties a game for 116 yards. So really, we saw about half that total from them in that first half. And man, as we get set for the kickoff here, of course, the Raiders deferred after winning the toss off the top. And so they get the ball here to start the second half. Isaac Wagner, who missed that 34-yard field goal at the end of the first half, went for a single point for the Sun, who trail this one 7-1. Ball takes a bounce at the 20-yard line. Going to be returned up the sideline here. Flag is thrown as the ball gets out across the 35. I think that was Xander Bailey, the running back, who got his first return of the game and took it up to, like I say, about the 35-yard line.
Yeah, a little surprised the Sun didn't go for that little kind of chip shot for onside kick that they love to do. Where it's not quite an onside kick, it's kind of like a second level onside kick. Oh.
So the hold there on Matt Cox, going to force the Raiders deep into their own territory inside the 15-yard line here for their first series of the second half.
Yeah, they could have started right up near center, and instead it's listed as a 10-yard penalty, but that's like a 30-yard swing from that penalty existing or not.
Jake LeBerge now back in his shotgun set. Running back on either side of him. Low snap, picks it up, completes this one to Mayo. And a big tackle there. Tyler Going roars in and brings him down at the 15-yard line. Looks like a gain of about 5 or so there.
That was a great tackle by Going, and assist to Barrios there. With those shiftier receivers, you have to just keep your leverage, stay in front of him, and just don't let him beat you up the field until your help comes. And help is coming like 100 miles an hour.
Bulges their gain of 2, so 2nd and 8 here. LeBerge going to air this one out towards the sideline. Kitzman at the end knew that he might have a play on that to track it down, but it's just overthrown. But a huge stop there. A 2 and out for the Sun defense, pinning the Raiders back in their own end of the field.
Yeah, definitely a miscommunication there between the quarterback and his receiver, because well overthrown to Kitzman, and Kitzman had 3 or 4 yards in the receiver in terms of play on that ball.
So Nick Hunchak now has one of his punts blocked here this afternoon, gets this one away cleanly. It's a beauty, forcing Simon Eyes back, who drops it there and now fumbles that one. It's on the ground. It looked like the Sun hopped on it at the end of that play, and that's the signal on the field. But boy, after a drop punt earlier, Aldrich Barrios with a huge play to jump on that ball that was bobbled by Rashawn Simon Eyes.
I cannot believe how often this is happening to the Sun. Like, are any of their returners able to catch the ball? Because just find that guy and let him go back there and catch it and take a knee. Don't even return the ball. Because putting your playmakers back there who are struggling to catch these punts is turning into quite the excitement.
Like we said in the pregame, it was something that hindered them against West Shore last week. Showing up here today, Zyla to pass this one over to Nate Anderson.
Great play there by 23, 22, 23, I think. That'll be, oh, that's Josh Paisley. As long as I'm seeing the right number. Great play, though, to step up into the backfield right away on that. If you're the flats man, that's your job. Go break that play up quickly before it has a chance to develop. And if your team can rely on you to do that, then the guy who's got the deep third doesn't step up, and that pump and go doesn't work nearly as well.
So off of that screen pass, the Sun lose 4 yards, 2nd and 14 from the 43. And flag in the... Yeah, that's what it is. That's the second time that's happened to the Sun here today, where a 2nd and 14 is going to become a 2nd and 19 just like that.
Oh, those are really frustrating plays. I keep my eye out for a screenplay here, personally.
Yeah, it's interesting that we've seen those draw plays from the Sun multiple times here today, but we haven't seen as many screen passes.
Yeah, the screen typically works better when there's a lot of blitzes going on, and we're not seeing a whole lot of blitzes from BI. Just their D-line is really putting pressure up the field.
So Zyla under pressure, dodges one tackler, now throws it deep. He's got Simonize who completes the catch at the 40-yard line, down to the 35, still going close to the 30. But what a catch there by Rashawn Simonize, and what a play by Keith Zyla to avoid the sack and throw a dart down the field.
That was impressive on both ends of the ball. Just all around, awesome play, great play. That's why Simonize is the guy you trust to throw the ball up to.
You get a look at the replay there, just dodging the tackle. Zyla with a great toss downfield, and Simonize, that's a tough cover assignment there for Paisley, who just doesn't have the height to compete with Simonize in a jump ball like that. Down to the 31-yard line here of the Raiders, 1st and 10, going to be a fake handoff here. Zyla's got to get rid of it as he was right under pressure, and he does before the sack. But a big hit there from Doyle Westland, who's going to take a penalty here. Yep, that's what it looks like. So it really will go as the equivalent of a sack in terms of where the ball is on the field. Nope, and as you say, the ball did not make it back to the line of scrimmage, so an intentional grounding called on Zyla. Sun trying to push it back towards field goal range here. 2nd and 17, ball on the 38-yard line. Zyla with a handoff there to Brendan Hansen. He cuts wide. Offensive hold coming up here as flag flew in the backfield. And that's going to push the Sun back here towards midfield. Trying to figure out here. So there we go. Instead of pushing them back even further, that penalty to open up a 3rd and 19 scenario here. Loss of 2 on that play, has the ball at the 40-yard line, and it's going to be Matt Panatoni in to punt this one away. Walks up to the 50, gets that one off, down to the 20-yard line there. Here's a good return up across the 35-yard line. That was Tristan Muir. Normally a DB who got that return going, and he got a gain of about 15 there on that punt return.
Yeah, when Panatoni's out there kicking, I'm a little surprised that they're not trying to strategically place Mayo over there, because he has a pretty predictable path of kick. And yeah, I'd put Mayo over there and either you're giving it to Mayo or you got to do something different and just see what the Sun respond with. But they're not doing that yet.
Mayo lines up on the far sideline here. 1st down and 10 for the Raiders. Going to be a handoff to Williams, who's got a hole. Busts up towards the 50. Does Rhett Williams. Looks like a gain of 12 or 13 on that play there. And I believe that is the longest run of the afternoon for Williams here so far.
Yeah, great little snuck through that hole, got to the second level, and had he escaped going, he would have been off to the races with Mayo trying to block Kitzman on the outside, but going with a great tackle there.
Williams' longest rush of the year earlier this year was a 38-yard rush that came here at the Apple Bowl back on September the 10th. Going to be the Raiders working out of the I formation here on first down. That's a handoff to Williams once again. Busts a tackle again out across the Sun 50-yard line. And a flag coming in at the very end of that play. Looks like the official in the back is pointing towards the Sun.
It's something to do with Tristan Waters, I think, but not really sure what happened there.
Eli Haynes takes an unnecessary roughness penalty. Not sure what drew that, to be honest, but
I think it was how he was mixed up with Waters in there, but because I think he was the man mixed up with him, but I didn't see anything that was particularly egregious.
10:42 left to go here in the third quarter. The Sun down 7-1. Penalty takes the ball down to the 34-yard line after a Sun offensive series before the half had lots of penalties. It's the Raiders being aided by penalties here. Handoff that time to Williams. He's got nowhere to go. Stuffed right there at the line. It looked like Cole Kluhart in on that tackle.
Yeah, that was a huge power just right off the snap, driving into the backfield. There's a couple Sun defensive linemen back there actually, with Beasley in on there too, waiting for cleanup duty.
So a loss of about a yard there. Moves it back to the 35-yard line. 2nd and 11 coming up here for the Raiders.
Right on the edge of field, what I expect is the edge of field goal range.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see where that is. Remember, Parker missed a 30-yard field goal earlier in this game. Handoff going to come again here, and a big tackle there right at the line of scrimmage.
Going is having himself a huge game.
Yeah, Tyler Going, I was going to say, he's had a monster game here today.
Just every time there's a big open field tackle, he seems to be in on it. So
looked like Williams was able to get back to the line of scrimmage on that play. And
Simon is going back to return this potential missed field goal. We'll see.
Field goal unit is coming back out on the field.
42 and a half, 43 yards.
Yeah, I guess we'll call it 43 by the looks of it. James Parker with his second attempt at a field goal here this afternoon. Here's the kick again, has the distance on it, and it is wide right once again. Simon is going to bring it back out from the left side of the end zone, and he is able to get up to the 5, now nearly the 10-yard line before he's brought down.
Sun getting fortunate on this kicking game because both those kicks came out clean, and he just pushed him right, which is I don't know, from here looking at the path of him, it looks like he got him off well, so I'm a little surprised he's 0 for 2 on those longer ones.
Yeah, no kidding, and you're right, both of the kicks have been pushed wide right. The one in the second quarter as well as the one this time around. For Simonides does a good job to come back across that goal post, almost using it as an extra blocker there. So the Sun on their own 20-yard line here. As it's going to be a run play off the top to Kelton Curry. He's brought down right around the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of a yard on that one, bringing up 2nd and long for the Sun.
They really know where to go. Looks like you want to stop and reverse the field, but that backside pressure was right there too, so. Oh, great tackle by 78, actually.
Going to be a loss on that play. I thought he got back towards the line, but he was a few yards shy, 3 yards shy. 2nd and 13 now coming up here for the Sun. Zyler's receivers in motion, working out of the shotgun there. Now dodges a hit, looks for another deep ball, throwing downfield into double coverage. He was looking for Robbie Rodriguez there, who'd ran all the way up to midfield. But trying to make a play on that one was Cheng, who missed the pick and at least disrupted the pass.
Yeah, dangerous ball there. He definitely had Robbie on the deep if he could get the ball over everyone, but underthrown by a good 5-10 yards and almost picked off.
So a tough incompletion for the Sun will force them to punt. They do send Panatoni out here. Typically they've sent Wagner out with these situations deep in their own territory, but this one not a good punt, end over end coming down the 35-yard line, picked up just outside the 40 by Mayo, now cuts up field, and he's going to be tackled there by Going again out there on the special teams. But yeah, for Panatoni, not a great punt there that results in good field position here for the Raiders.
Fortunate bounce and great coverage by the Sun helps not turn that into a total disaster, but you definitely want a bigger field position swing when you're punting the ball. That was kind of came off his foot a little shallow.
Like I say, was a little bit surprised to see him out there because he doesn't typically take those punts deep in the Sun end of the field, doesn't have that rolling out run that he normally takes to punt it away. But LeBurge under center here on a first down play. Fakes one handoff, now gets it to Williams. He goes up across the 40-yard line. Flag flies at the end of the run.
Seeing a hold call.
Yeah, likely that coming against the Raiders here. 7:09 left to go here in third quarter action. 7-1 the score at this point in the ball game. The only touchdown coming back in the second quarter. So that is Tristan Waters, who takes the holding penalty, pushes the ball back across the 50. An 8-yard touchdown catch from Bryson Mayo. And we've seen kickers miss 3 field goal attempts combined with both teams. Isaac Wagner's missed 1. James Parker with a couple of misses, surprisingly, so far in this game. Back to pass here. Here's LeBurge, he's looking downfield, has Mayo wide open, catches it at the 20, and he will waltz into the end zone for the touchdown.
Clearly a blown coverage there. I'm not sure whose assignment that was, but Mayo was wide open, nobody within 15 or 20 yards of him.
And we talked before the game about how the Sun have been susceptible sometimes to big plays up the middle. We don't usually see this, just a kind of a corner route there where Mayo, yeah, is wide open as he jogs in, a 52-yard catch. Pending an extra point, putting another score on the board here for the Raiders. Parker in for this kick, that one through the uprights. And so for the VI Raiders, a massive touchdown, a 52-yard catch to Bryson Mayo. They take now a 14-1 lead in this ball game. We'll take a quick break. It's the VI Raiders 14 and the Okanagan Sun 1. Now a bit of a reverse to Rashawn Simonize as the Sun trying to pull that one out of a bag of tricks, but Simonize brought down just across the 15-yard line. Sun getting creative there on a kickoff return that didn't work out for them on that instance.
Yeah, Josh Paisley was having none of that, and it really relied on getting around him to get to the edge, and he had a great cutoff angle, forced him into his pressure, help. 82 on the tackle.
Yep, big play there for the Raiders to force the Sun to stick around in their own end of the field here. Ball on the 17-yard line for the Sun, who have just had trouble driving the field this afternoon. One big one aided by penalties there in the second quarter. That pass to Anderson, he's bobbling the ball, just unable to come up with it. Sean Arabsky, who had the big interception earlier, comes away with the hit to separate Anderson from the ball there. Just thrown just a little too far in front of him.
Perfect, I don't know, perfectly placed ball, and
Yeah.
Anderson's got to squeeze that. You can't be bobbling those.
Yeah, you're right, actually, on the replay. It was a well-placed ball.
If he catches that clean, he has a chance to even make a man miss on that tackle, but because he has the bobble, he gets the ball separated from him, and now we're 2nd and 10.
Couple uncharacteristic misses from drops rather from Anderson today for the Sun, who are forced here on 2nd down to throw another deep ball. Here's Zyla up the middle of the field, and a receiver is taken down. That's Spencer Schmidt. It'll be a pass interference call, I believe, coming up here, which might save this Sun drive.
Yeah, that was a bit of a fortunate call there, but he was getting all tangled up in those defensive backs.
Another throw into double coverage here from Zyla. A low percentage one, but yeah, Schmidt just got sandwiched between the two, and it was Arabsky who got tangled up there with Schmidt and believe got the pass interference call there. Yep.
It looks like it's passed into double coverage, but if he comes through that pair of guys clean, I think he has the most speed and momentum getting to that football.
Yep.
And it's well placed behind the coverage. He just can't get his receiver just can't get there. Whereas earlier with Rodriguez, it was the opposite case.
Ball in the 32 after that 15-yard penalty. 1st down for the Sun. This is a handoff to Rodriguez, who gets stuffed just across the 35-yard line here.
Great little second effort on that to get another 2 or 3 yards out of that run.
Yeah, as he ran right into a couple of linemen there, and like you mentioned, pushed ahead for that extra 1 or 2. Looked like a gain of about 4 yards. 2nd down and 6 coming up. Rodriguez is going to stay out there, lining up beside Zyla, who's working out of the gun here. Rushing 4 are the Raiders. This is a pass up the middle. Going up for it there is Jesse Falconer, but he got sandwiched by 2 members of the secondary. It looked like Paisley coming in to make that hit with Nathan Myers. And once again, 3rd down upcoming for Okanagan.
Yeah, pretty well placed ball again, but there's just too much traffic there and a little too high for even Falconer's height and vert.
Not a bad play to throw it to your big, tall guys to go up and get it. We saw it work with Simon Eyes a few plays ago. Nearly worked there with Falconer. Panatoni out to punt this one. It's going to be blocked. That's Arabsky. Panatoni runs back towards his own line to kick it again. This one going to roll out of bounds.
That was great on him just to get the ball back at least closer to the line of scrimmage. But
yeah, that one did not get out to the line of scrimmage. It went out of bounds off the re-kick from Panatoni at about the 20-yard line. And so it's going to be, yeah, marked at the 25 here. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. Again, we've talked about this before, where the Sun, who are so good on special teams early in the season, just have been missing there, it seems, last couple of weeks, and this game is no different.
Yeah, they had the block earlier, but between dropped returns and miscues on punts, it's been ugly.
Back to keep it is LeBurge. He looks deep into the end zone now. Flag is thrown, and the pass will fall too far out in front of Trevor Pelland in the end zone. The
Raiders are going to take themselves out of point scoring range again if they keep getting penalties in this area of the field.
Cody Upton on the offensive line called for the hold there. As we are starting to see the Raiders work in more plays out of this I formation. That time, that was one of the first where there was no handoff. LeBurge faked it twice and then kept it for the pass. He'll be out of the shotgun here. LeBurge to pass. He's got a man open. That's Pelland to the far side. Cuts back across a tackler down to the 20-yard line. And that'll be good enough.
Yeah, Going.
A gain of about 15 by the looks of it.
Goings had a great game on tackling, but he got a beat on that coverage there a little bit, letting his guy have too much outside leverage, and then trying to over pursue to make up for it, gets turned inside out and loses another 5 yards. Eventually makes the tackle, but could have been made 10 yards sooner if he had tighter coverage.
Ball spotted in the 19, so officially a gain of 16 for Trevor Pelland on that catch. 3:46 left to go here in the third quarter. Out of the eye once again. Here are the Raiders. Ball is loose on the ground. Still loose. The Sun now pick it up. Looks like they've got it. As the handoff to Rhett Williams was not clean, and the Okanagan Sun, what a huge play there with a turnover on a fumble.
They definitely needed that. The Sun D needed to come up big. And I'm starting to get to the point where I'm beginning to believe they're going to have to find a way to put points on the board themselves. But it's huge to take points away from VI and give their offense the ball back to hopefully get a drive put together.
No kidding. This field position for the Raiders kind of mimics the field position the Sun had back there in the second quarter when they had a drive downfield where an interception was thrown, where they were just outside the red zone looking to put the first points on the board of the game at that instance. 1st and 10 on the 25-yard line for the Sun. Screen over the far side to Anderson. Sheds, no, he doesn't shed Paisley, as nice tackle there, wrapped him up right of the legs. Paisley with another good one there.
Yeah, really rolled with that ankle, and happy to see Anderson hop back up without being phased at all, because that could have really twisted a knee or an ankle up.
Fortunately for the Sun, it's a gain of about 2 yards, 2nd and 8 on the 27. The Raiders, who on defense have definitely been more disciplined so far in the second half of football. And the Sun have been unable to rely on those penalties to move the ball upfield in a better position. Handoff here on 2nd down into a scrum there. It's Curry with the ball, working his way up, trying to get to that 35-yard line. Boy, I think he's close to a first down. Initially off the play, it looked like he might not be, but great run there by Curry.
Yeah, 2nd and long with a run. That's a risky play, but it looked like Curry came real close to getting there, and we're bringing out the goal line offense here.
Yeah, it looks like no measurement needed there. A yard shy of the first down at this point.
So we have a crew of linebackers running in there to play some tight end and running back.
On a short yardage play before, we saw Zyla just keep the ball himself.
Expect the same here.
This play, bit of a handoff up the middle.
Flag on the play, probably on the defense.
Sun thinking they have it.
Typically on these short yardage, it's a defense lining up in the middle infraction zone or jumping too early.
Yeah, and the flag came from over there on the sideline, so that looks to be the case here. Sun confident as their rest of their offensive group is jogging back out in the field. So I think the referee went offside there on the D-line. And so that 5-yard penalty will allow for a Sun first down anyway. Ball going to be spotted at the 39-yard line. 1st and 10 here for the Sun. 1:28 left to go in the third quarter. Down 14-1 are the Sun, looking to put a touchdown on the board here this afternoon. Pass over to Schmidt, who has it go right between his hands. Coming in to make the hit there, Josh Paisley. But a bit of an interesting one there where it looked like Schmidt just might have whiffed on that one.
Yeah, I think Schmidt knew he was going to get hit on that and kind of took his eyes off the ball to brace for the hit, but a little high on that throw. Yeah, hit him in the hand. Yeah, you have to be able to pull those in, even if it's only for those 3 or 4 yards.
Incomplete, means 2nd and 10 here, just outside of a minute left here in the third quarter. Receivers in motion. Zyla looks up the middle of the field. He had a receiver down. And that one was picked off up the middle by Arabsky once again. A turnover for the Sun and puts the Raiders back on offense.
Yeah, Anderson had tripped and fallen, and I don't know if there was any contact that forced that or what it was, but trying to hit Anderson on a post who was just laying on the field, so he hit the safety square in the chest again.
And after that huge play from the Sun D to recover that fumble here, a bit of a heartbreaker with the Raiders picking up that turnover and coming back on offense here just across midfield on the Okanagan 53. Out of the shotgun, here is LaBerge. Makes a pass complete over on the far side. That one over there to Adam Finnick. He was just across the 50 by the looks of it when he made that catch.
Took a big shot there and stayed on his feet, so good on him for that.
Ball being spotted at the 51-yard line. So I believe that's a gain of 2 on the play. 2nd down and 8 coming up from the Raiders here. 20 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. The big question to be answered in the 4th, can the Sun offense show up here and put some points on the board? Their D has definitely given them a chance to win this football game. LaBerge to pass over the middle. That one is going to be caught. It's by Mayo, who cuts across the field down inside the 30. And that's where he's taken down at about the 20, looks like 27, 28-yard line. But a huge conversion on 2nd down here for the Raiders with the end of the quarter upon us.
A huge play. The Sun need to make a few of these plays before the end of the game, or this game's going to be over without them on the winning side of it.
Take a quick break, come back to the Apple Bowl. Your score, the Raiders 14 and the Okanagan Sun 1.
I wanted to put money on Miami over Atlanta, and I don't think I did, but Miami won. Smoking Jay Cuddy. Smoking Jay Cuddy.
Looking for an outstretched receiver in Helen.
They are giving him the completion. I don't know about that.
Whoa.
I think he was picking that up off the dirt, but
it certainly looked like a bit of a short hop from here, but big completion means the Raiders now just 2 yards away from a 1st down. Ball on the Okanagan 20, defense to be relied on for another big stop here. Handoff up the middle to Williams. He gets nearly the 15-yard line, good enough for a 1st down there.
Ooh, Sun really need to find a way to get a turnover, and they need to find a way to get points on the board here. Next ball in the air needs to be theirs.
Yeah, Rhett Williams, who was in on the fumble for the Raiders last time with that missed handoff of his quarterback, wrapping it up there. And once again, it'll be the Raiders out of the eye. Fake handoff there, looking to the corner of the end zone here. LaBerge now he's going to tuck it and run with it down to the 10-yard line. Crosses out of bounds at the 7. And that looks to be about a yard shy of a 1st down here. We'll see where the spot is, but expect to be 2nd and short here, deep in the red zone of the Sun. So they're going to, okay, they're going to say he crossed over the 6. So yeah, that's going to be too close to call. They'll bring out a measurement here. Pretty crucial time right now here in this football game. You'd think at this point that a Raiders touchdown to put them up by 3 scores would feel a little insurmountable for the Sun, given just how the offense has been today for them.
Yeah, they got the 1st down here inside the 10-yard line. So even if just the field goal turns it into a 3-score game again, and 3 scores is a long way to come back from when your offense is not clicking, and the Sun offense hasn't been clicking the way they need it to. Even they're even getting completed plays on 2nd and medium that wind up being short of a 1st, and you just can't do that because you drive guys. So here on in, it's likely 3-down territory for the Sun.
Sure is, as the ball is spotted, like you say, on the 6, ensuring them a first and goal situation here. 13.5 minutes left to play in a fourth quarter. 14-1 the lead for the Raiders, who are trying to tack on more. LaBerge, as he started to roll right with it, but an official over on the sideline signaling a false start, I believe. Here's the word from the referee today. So there it is. Penalty is on the offense here. 69, Cody Upton, who's that left tackle there. So back here on the 11-yard line, first and goal. LaBerge is running right, but he's got Cody Thompson coming in behind him, and a big tackle there made with Beck Fullerton to sack the quarterback out near the 20-yard line. Big loss on the play.
Huge play there. The Raiders are honestly lucky Beck Fullerton came in so hot, because I don't think he was tucking away from Thompson. He was tucking away from Fullerton and just got lucky, because had he stayed up another step or two, Thompson might have been able to get the strip sack on him, hunting him down from behind.
Yeah, it's a good point there, as he looked, like you say, to be more aware of Fullerton's presence than Thompson's on that play. And so the Raiders push back even further, going to be spotted at the 17-yard line here on a second and goal for them. LaBerge to pass. This one quickly into the corner. Berrios going up for it, and he just tips it. Aldrich Berrios nearly comes in with an INT there. It just goes off his hands, but he's able in the process to tip it away from Bryson Mayo, who is the receiver looking for another big touchdown catch from him.
Yeah, that's they're just looking for that jump ball with Berrios versus Mayo, and Mayo's won one, and Berrios won that one, although it didn't come down with a clean.
And
see if kicker can connect on this field goal finally.
So James Parker, who's missed from 42 and from 30 yards so far today, now has a 25-yard field goal ahead of him. Once again, good distance on this one, but it's wide left this time and sails out the back of the end zone. So it'll be a single point there for the Raiders, but boy, the kicking game just not working out for them today, as this kick is shifted wide left.
Yeah, shocking really, especially with how much power, and like it's not like he's shanking and missing by a lot. He just keeps pushing it to the wrong side of the post.
So each team with a missed field goal that's gone for a single point here today. Outside of that, 2 touchdowns from the Raiders, and that's what has given them a 15-1 lead here, sending the Sun back on offense here. 12-10 left to go in this ball game. And after that play, boy, it is huge for the Sun to be only down by 2 scores right now.
Very, absolutely crucial that they're down by only 2 scores right now. And the Sun offense, they need to at least turn this into a steady drive, get 2 or 3 first downs if they don't manage to put points on the board here, and they need to do it sooner than later.
Zyla continues to work out of the gun here. Back to pass to Simon Eyes, screen pass complete up near the 40. Looked like Rashawn stumbled a little bit as he caught that ball. And so he'll get brought down at about the 41-yard line, gain of 6 on the play.
Yeah, this play looks like it's designed to kind of read the blocks and cut inside, and tries to cut inside, but meets a VI player there, number 28. That's, oh, there's no 28 on my sheet here. Anyway, yeah, great play there by the defensive back. What was that, 29 Chang?
Probably 29 Chang, yeah.
Okay.
In on that one, it was being blocked by Falconer. 2nd down and 4 to go here. Fake handoff from Zyla. Goes up the middle. That pass is complete to Jesse Falconer. He's got 3 guys all over him, taking it up to the Raider 50. But Jesse Falconer, with his first completion of the game, comes at a huge time here on the play action from Keith Zyla.
Yeah, great hands, great body catch there. A little behind almost again. Zyla's really got to find a way to get those passes out in front of his receivers, because, yeah, that hit Falconer well on the body, but if that's another half-yard behind, there's contention for another pick there.
Sun moving the ball into Raider territory. needing a score at this point in the ballgame. Another play action from Zyla. That one is complete over on the far side, up across the 45. That is Spencer Schmidt, I believe, on that completion, as was announced here in the Apple Bowl, and so that'll bring up a 2nd and short.
Sun need to get a first down here. Expect a run, but they have been doing passes quite a bit on these 2nd and shorts. They like the quick hooks and the swings.
Good fake there on the run as Brendan Hansen sold that handoff well. 2nd down and 2 yards left to go here for the Sun on the 42. Zyla brings in the snap, gets it to Hansen. There's a handoff up across the 35. Big run for Brendan Hansen.
This is what the Sun offense has needed to do all day and has really struggled to put connecting first downs together. So great to see them moving the sticks down the field and now really getting close to red zone territory.
Ball on the 32, a 10-yard run from Brendan Hansen. Big one there. Setting up the Sun, like you say, as they approach the red zone here. Fake handoff from Zyla. He cuts up to the right side, keeps the ball, takes a hit too as he rumbles across the 30-yard line. But another good gain of about 5 yards that the Sun are doing well here, just picking up 5-6 yards per down, and that's allowing them to move the chains down the field.
Yeah, that's quite the risky play there from your quarterback,
Sure
especially
is.
with the history of injuries the Sun quarterbacks have had this season. Don't like to see him do a whole bunch of that, but he did get 5 yards out of it, makes it 2nd and manageable.
2nd and 5 down on the 27. Once again, Hansen right beside Keith Zyla. Got a man in motion, a reverse handoff here over on the far side, but getting brought down is Robbie Rodriguez.
That was a huge tackle there by Brody Taylor. Kind of shoestring holding on to getting Robbie's shoe there.
3rd down and 5 here for the Sun, who look like they're going for it. We talked about it really being 3rd down territory. Down by 14, a field goal really doesn't help them very much here.
Especially with the misses that we've seen today, and Mayo with the return capabilities he has.
Hansen looks like he's going to get a handoff here from Zyla, and does. Cuts up towards the 20-yard line. That should be good enough for a first down. 7 yards or 6 yards the gain for Hansen here.
Great reach on that. That's a risky call on 3rd and 5 or 6, just a clean run play off tackle. But Hansen with the reach on that hit and spin.
Looks like the ball being spotted just outside that 20-yard line, but essentially a gain of 7 there for Hansen. What a 3rd down conversion for the Sun to keep this drive alive. Clock to 7.5 minutes left in a 4th quarter here. Keith Zyla out of the shotgun, hands off to Robbie Rodriguez, who stumbled making his first cut. Looks like he gained close to 5 yards anyway on the play down to the 15-yard line.
This drive's going well, but it's chewing up a lot of time, and the Sun really need to get away from this with points.
Sure do here as a 2nd and 5 situation once again upcoming for the Sun. Ball on the 15-yard line now. Zyla looking to pass, pump fakes once, now goes to the corner. The end zone flag is thrown. Looked like some contact between a receiver and the secondary. And we'll see where the flag ends up falling here on this play.
Hand battle between Tristan Muir and Simon Eyes out on the far end, and I think they're calling one of them. I'm not sure who it was that was getting too aggressive with their hands. Oh, that's a big play.
Whoa.
Big penalty right there.
Like you say, it was Tristan Muir on Simon Eyes there. Muir is called on a PI, and so a 15-yard penalty. Well, the ball pretty much was started on the 15.
Yeah,
that's
so
where
we're
the line
down
of
to the
scrimmage
1.
was. So we're down right to the 1-yard line.
And the Sun have their heavy package out with Richard in the tailback spot.
Richard in the tailback spot. It looks like lineman is lining up as the fullback there. Now the handoff comes to Richard. He spins in, reaches with one hand out across the goal line. Touchdown for the Sun. Connor Richard takes it in to give the Sun a chance in this game.
That's huge. Looked like the defense even got the initial stop right away, but Richard got the reach over, which is something that you really have to be wary of, because the linebacker could easily reach over that pile and knock the ball out of your hands before you actually break the plane, or before, at this level, an official sees you break it. There's no replays or anything. This is all down to what's seen or not.
Yeah, it's a good point and good awareness there by Richard to do that in an instance where you're right, he didn't have that ball swatted right out of his hand. So with Isaac Wagner in to kick the extra point, a bit of a low snap, but the kick is up and it's good. The Sun now down by just one score, 15-8. Take a quick break, come back to the Apple Bowl.
Getting exciting. This is the kind of win that they really, really need, though. Like, rise from adversity kind of win. Be the underdog for a minute.
Here to the Apple Bowl, Evan Cook Carson Park here as Connor Richard breathes some life into the Sun. A 1-yard touchdown run with 6.5 minutes left to play in the fourth quarter takes the Sun to within a touchdown right now as they trail 15-8. Isaac Wagner to kick this one away from the 45-yard line. That one angled out towards the sideline. Going to be caught there and returned from about the 25-yard line. Out across the 30 just before, now just across the 35 is where the big pile of players tumbles. Xander Bailey on the return that time.
I'm really surprised they didn't try to go for their little onside thing right there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's typically far enough of a kick that it doesn't totally ruin your field position. I'm not sure the VI would have gotten much better field position had they tried it. And the way they were running it earlier this season, that was giving them a great opportunity at getting the ball. And we are running low on time to be down by a score.
Sun defense, both defenses have had great days here this afternoon. Sun D being asked for another stop here with the offense. LeBurge with the handoff to Williams. Bit of a miscommunication between those two. And Cody Thompson wraps up the running back before the line of scrimmage for a loss.
Great play there and great awareness by Thompson to let go of that tackle and not go and try to suplex the running back or anything silly that might get him a penalty.
Absolutely.
Play was over. He made his play and let go of his wrap.
Yeah, you're right. A good veteran play there by Thompson. Fourth-year linebacker for this team out of Okotoks, Alberta, with a big day here for the Sun. 2nd and 12 here. LeBurge going to pass this one. Going to connect with his receiver up by the 40-yard line to the 45 is North Rainey. That's still 2 yards short of a first down. And I'm imagining that the Raiders are going to play it safe here and punt this one away.
Yeah, punt team coming out. Although, if there's going to be a fake, now is the time to keep your eyes open for it, because a fake here and getting another 10 yards down the field, that's going to kill a lot of clock and be a huge field position win.
Well, and we even saw kind of the fake out of necessity on that play earlier where Hunchak just didn't have time to kick it and he took off and ran with it.
Yeah, so if there's going to be a block on, they have to break down well for this.
High snap, and Hunchak can't kick it again. The Sun have forced him to run with it. Now he's going to throw this one downfield, completes the pass up to the Sun 40, the 35, and out across the 30-yard line. What a play there to connect with Brandon McDougall, the running back.
Definitely think that was drawn up like that. Don't think that was anything about the bad snap, although it was a high snap. He's lucky he came down with that. But disappointing for the Sun special teams to not pick up on that sort of thing and keep an eye out for it, because he was wide open on that play.
Yeah, it's a good call there, and I mean, you talked about it being a great opportunity there for a fake. And McDougall, like you say, just wide open. The Sun unable to pick him up, and he rumbles all the way down to the 32-yard line.
I'm not sure what the officials are conferencing about, but it also looks like Coach Ben would definitely like a word as well. Because
yeah, McCauley is in conversation with the referee, who just shrugs him off at that point. Not sure what the conversation was about, whether it's about field position. Under 5 minutes to go now. Going to be a 1st and 10 here in the 32. Handoff here. Looks like a hold is coming as the ball came out at the end of the play.
oh, and the Sun D is very frustrated by that call.
Hayward Beasley had the ball in his hand, and he was getting ready to rumble upfield. There was another handoff to Williams. There had already been a flag throw, and looked like a hold was going to bring it back.
Sun D have been waiting for that play all day, and then it's blown dead. That's frustrating. They gotta find a way to make another one.
Tough to tell on the replay exactly when the ball hit the ground. Waters picks up the holding penalty here, so that'll move. There you go, and that's the explanation there. Boy, that's frustrating for the Sun.
Especially, that's something we've talked about earlier in the season, not so much lately, but helmets coming off has been a crazy commonly thing. Saw it pop off earlier just on one of the receivers.
1st and 10 here. 1st and 20 rather, on the 42-yard line. Sun rushing forward to the line. LeBurge under pressure. He's got to get away from a tackler. Beasley just misses him diving for that tackle. Getting forced to the sideline is LeBurge, and he's out right around the line of scrimmage. Eli Haynes and Tyler going in on that final tackle. And though it looks like it'll end up netting nothing, Hayward Beasley comes that close to grabbing the leg out from the quarterback.
Oh, he had him. He just can't be lunging there on that last step. He needed 2 more steps and he had the tackle, but just getting a little too excited, especially after that last play where his forced fumble recovery is called back. That's real frustrating, back-to-back plays, but look for him to stay hungry.
Ball taken back to the line, so it's 2nd and 20 from the 42-yard line. Back to passes LeBurge. He goes up the middle, and that one is going to fall incomplete. Looked like Fullerton and Richard from that halfback position coming in to disrupt North Rainey. And so the Sun, to get the ball back with 4 minutes left, it's going to be a punt here from their half of the field. And so it's going to be probably tight field position coming up for the Sun, but they are getting the ball back on offense.
Yeah, you really hope to see them put together a drive like their last drive.
Nate Anderson back to return this punt. It's going to take him into his own end zone. He's going to let it bounce in the end zone. Now pick it up and get the no yards penalty there, as he's brought down just outside the goal line by the looks of it.
Boy, do I not like that decision by Anderson to let that ball bounce, because you don't know which direction it's going to go.
Yep.
I don't know if he has an eye on what the kicker's up to, if the kicker's bombing down the field to get everybody onside, but letting that ball touch the ground is a very risky play, especially down by your own goal line. Down by 7. If you allow the single point, you now need a 2-point conversion as well. Like, that's right in the shadow of their goal line.
Yeah, tough calculation there. And we'll see if it ends up playing out for the Sun here. Clock down to 3:44 remaining in the 4th quarter. Now it looks like a conversation amongst the officials in there as well, talking about it on the Sun end is Marshall Klein, the offensive lineman. Haven't made a decision on the spot of the ball at this point, which is...
They're saying it got into the end zone, and they got it out of the end zone, so they're bringing it out to the 20.
Yep, that's going to be the spot.
Number 44. That penalty is declined. The ball was caught in, and it came out, so the ball will be placed at the 20-yard line, 1st down.
And that's what it is, so the no yards penalty gets negated on that play. But gamble there with letting the ball drop that ends up working out for the Sun here with the ball on the 20-yard line. The Sun's first drive of the afternoon started on the 20. They start another one here under 4 minutes to play. down by a score. There's a play action and a pitch backwards by Zyla. Ball loose on the field. It's going to be recovered and brought into the end zone, but I think the whistle had gone. A flag was thrown.
Yeah, for I think it's for tackling Hansen when he was going for the recovery.
Yeah, so Nathan Myers, who came in as it was a play action, then a pitch to the outside there.
Not a great pitch there by Zyla either. Way too shallow, not nearly steep enough for his.
Number 23, BI Raiders. It'll be first down from spot of foul.
And so that's what it is.
First down from the spot of the foul. That's an interesting one.
And so because it was that backwards pitch, the Sun will lose field position even with the penalty going against the Raiders there. Going to take the ball down inside the 15-yard line now. But start with a fresh set of downs at 1st and 10 now with the ball on the 14. Clock down, under 3.5 minutes left. Sun trying to lead another charge up the field. Zyla with the handoff here now. That's to Hansen. Cuts up near the 20, still on his feet. And he will get eventually brought down just across, I believe, the 20-yard line there. We'll see where the spot is, maybe right at the 20, but a nice run there by Brendan Hansen.
A great, powerful run there from Hansen. And Sun are going to wind up being here in a minute. Pretty much the same position that the Raiders were the first time they came over to the Okanagan earlier in the season.
Yeah, it's a great point, as it was a 3rd down conversion for the Raiders, plus a 2-point convert to come away with a tie in that game. Sun needing a score here with under 3 minutes to play. Zyla with the keep, busts up across the 25-yard line. Takes a lot of contact on those hits, but Zyla rushes it far enough for a Sun first down.
Yeah, he's a good couple yards over the first down marker. At that point, I'd like to just see him take the slide. Oh, actually, no, he had to take that, actually. Smart move.
So ball here on the 27-yard line. Officials going to conference once again here, actually. Clock stopped with 2:37 left to play here. You think back to the last Sun drive where they got down the field and they had those short plays consecutively to get them down there. Not sure they have enough time to really do that right now.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Like, it's an option for them still, but they're going to have to turn that into a hurry-up offense and really not have any incompletes. There's no room for failure at this point in the game.
So the 3-minute warning is blowing through, and it's going to be back to offense for the Sun here. Clock ticking down now from 2.5. Zyla out of the shotgun here, looks downfield, pump fake, now a pass. It's in behind the receiver. That was Jesse Falconer, who had to look behind him and watch the ball sail away. Going to bring up 2nd down and 10 here.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that play, throwing to the middle of the field for only like 7 or 8 yards. Time to attack the perimeter here or the seams. Want to get your receiver to catch it at least in motion, so he can make a fight for that sideline.
Simoni is one of the receivers in motion over the far sideline. Zyla's going to look that direction, go towards that sideline for Simoni. He goes up with it.
They're calling it a catch.
And they're saying he caught it right at midfield.
Oh, they should have been doing this way more during this game. Just throw it up to that guy, because he has the height advantage on all of these defensive backs, and he makes plays, high points that ball really well.
Well, and it's why I pointed him out pre-snap there, is because we've seen it a few times. Yeah, what a great catch there, going up against Tristan Muir to make that play. So the Sun up to midfield, clock ticking down, 2:10 remaining, with Okanagan pressing for the tying score here. Zyla going to pass this one out of the gun once again to that same sideline. Diving catch, not made. Anderson was attempting that one, but a flag is thrown. Looked like about 5 yards back of that catch attempt from Anderson.
Sun are honestly lucky that Simonize did not get called on the offside on that, because I think he was a half step early. Something to really be wary of when you're doing the slot approach.
Yep. Raiders hoping that more penalties don't sink them here on defense.
Illegal contact on the receiver, number 27.
That's a big 10-yard penalty called on Travis Novak. And so after that complete, that should take the ball down to the 45-yard line. And a fresh set of downs for the Sun here. 2 minutes exactly left to go in this football game.
Yeah, the Raiders D is, you can't be shooting yourself in the foot like that at this point in the game.
Zyla now. There's that option play. A handoff is not going anywhere. Likely a loss potentially of a yard or two for Brendan Hansen.
Yeah, Hansen had nowhere to go there. And I was disappointed. I like that call, and I like the way it started to form it up, and just picked the wrong gap to try to go through.
That knocked 5 seconds off the clock here. So clock now counting down, hits a minute 50 to go. Second down and 11. Ball on the 46-yard line. For the Sun, looking to move the chains again here on second and long. 4 receivers on the left side. Zyla rolls out that way. Now looks downfield and throws an interception. That one picked off by Jeremy Cheng. He gets wrapped up at about the 40. Apologies, that's Travis Novak, who after taking the penalty earlier in the drive, comes up with a huge INT and will likely seal this one.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many timeouts everybody has left, but the Sun D, like I said, it's on them to put points on this board to get the Sun back in this game, and this game's about to be over with only a minute left.
Tough ball there, as I mentioned, 4 Sun receivers stacking that left side. There were certainly guys in the vicinity. Ball just a little bit underthrown and going up for it. Travis Novak using all 6 feet of his stature to pluck that ball out of the air from Keith Zyla. Minute 29 left to go here. Back under center is Jake LaBerge. He will pass this one toward an open sideline. It was well behind Bryson Mayo.
Very questionable play call there.
Yeah.
The clock stopped on him.
Yeah, that'll stop the clock here, like you say, with the minute 27 to go.
We now have a 2nd and 10, so it's a throwing down. Likely we'll see if it's going to be incomplete again, and this could be a 2 and out with only like 8 or 9 seconds lost.
Yeah, you wonder here if they will run the ball with the clock in mind here on 2nd down, but you're right. You're asking a lot from your back, Rhett Williams, who's had some good runs today, but the Sun D have shut them down pretty well. Now here LaBerge is scrambling. He gets out of the pocket, has a face full from Cody Thompson, now gets brought down at the 40-yard line.
That ball came out for a second. I think he wrapped it back up, but that ball popped out on the way down. That was quite the moment.
Wow.
And LaBerge looks like he is not feeling right after that.
Cody Thompson was all up in his grill, like I say, and so that run will take it up to about the 40-yard line.
Thompson just raking at the arms, trying to pull that ball out, and he gets it and lands on the ball. Oh, he didn't know it was there.
Oof.
Oh, man.
So the Sun call a timeout here with a minute 18 left to go here. Going to be a 3rd down punt for Nick Hunchak. Rashawn Simonize is lined up at his own 35-yard line to take this.
I imagine the Sun are down to maybe 1 timeout left, so. And it looked.
Yeah, that timeout to stopping the clock at a minute 18. And boy, in this Canadian 3-down game after, like you mentioned, the incomplete pass on 1st down here, and now the Sun using a timeout after that play. Sun could get the ball back with over 60 seconds left here. Certainly enough time for them to take this back.
Yeah, enough time to at least make it exciting. I think expect the Sun to bring in some heavy pressure here too. They've blocked a lot of kicks at the start of the year. Now is the time they have to do them.
Yeah, no kidding. Hunchak is lined up back at about his own 27-yard line.
Have in mind, please don't get a roughing the kick.
Yeah, that too. High snap. He still collects it. It is squibbed off of his foot, rolling out to about the Okanagan 40. That's where Simonize is going to pick it up and curl back toward his own end. Now tries to get outside wide. He hits his own 40. Simon Eyes still going towards the sideline. Gets a block. Comes up midfield. He's at the 30-yard line. Another block. A flag is down. Simon Eyes will rumble into the end zone, but I think we're getting this one called back on a block in the back.
I think it's actually a running into the kicker penalty, although I think he blocked the kick, so I don't know if that should actually be a penalty. We're going to see what the ref saw, or hear what the ref saw.
You're right. Wow.
Because I'm very sure he blocked that, and if you touch that ball, you're allowed to run into that kicker.
I am sure they got a hand on that, yeah. Boy,
I'm not even sure how you argue that, because there is no replay, so you can't go back on that. But I can't see how that did anything but hit the blocker's hand.
Well, it had to have hit something, right? Because of the way it came off the foot. Try and get another look at this on the replay here. That was
just missed it.
Tough to see, but
awesome return by Simon Eyes, and the Sun D can find. I don't know what the timeout situation's like, but the Sun D needs to get a stop here right now.
54 seconds left here in the fourth quarter.
Coach Ben arguing his case.
That's a gutsy call there on a running into the kicker. And so for the Raiders, they retain possession of the ball, 1st and 10, now on their own 49-yard line.
Stick on the far side, the same cleat. Okay, there you go. Gotcha.
Going to be a run play here. Hand off to Williams. He gets across the 50, maybe up to the 51-yard line. Looks like max a gain of 2 on that run. 2nd and 9 coming up here. Auberge is just going to jog to the sideline here as the Sun use up a timeout. 51 seconds. Boy, still a little bit, as we're getting another look at that. Punt there.
I just caught that as the tail end of it, so I didn't even get to see if we had a good view on if it was blocked or just shanked and hit or what the deal was, but definitely going to be checking that out later. Oh, here we go again. Yeah, like if he's running into the kicker, he's hitting his leg before his leg's hitting the ball, so I don't know what's going on there. Disappointing call. Disappointing, very important call too.
Big time. As he had no other flags on the field, that return for Simon Eyes would have gone for a score. Nonetheless, here's 2nd down and long here. Good run by Williams, gets up across midfield, will still be short of a 1st down. Going to be about 3rd and 2 here. Nice little run there for Rhett Williams. And that will set up a punt here with 46 seconds remaining.
So can we do it again? That's going to be the question.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh. We have Shaw TV keeps showing us that last block, which helpful. Oh, what are we going on here? Oh, they're going for it here.
Okay, there we go. Raiders,
formation.
in the eye, going for it on 3rd down here, or at least gonna, call a timeout and get that clock down to 28 seconds. Now the punt team is jogging out on the field here. Looked like, okay, they re-added a second. Now we're up to 28 seconds left to go here. For the Sun to, yeah, it sure is. For the Sun to field this punt and, let's say, get a return of about 15 yards or so, that might take them up to about the 35, 40-yard line. In which case they might have time for 2, maybe 3
definitely expect shots. Definitely expect a kick out of bounds here, actually.
Yep, that's a good point. Hunchak angles towards that sideline, going to come inbounds, take a bounce right to the 20-yard line, bounces in front of Simon Eyes, who's going to pick it up into his own 15. Simon Eyes can't cut past the lead block, and it's down at the 20 with the clock down to 17.
He needed to find a way to go around the outside like he did last time, and this contain held him in and it forced him to cut up field and nowhere to go. Really disappointing there. I was hoping to see at least an attempt at the same thing, but cover unit, contain team really stepped up.
Another tough play there where he lets it bounce and it takes a funny hop away from him. Tough to come in with as much momentum as he would have running in to catch that ball in the air, but it ends up not working out with it bouncing right in front of him. So 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Zyla out of the shotgun now, expecting him to look deep down the field. This one is angled towards the sideline and just a little bit too far in front of Rashawn Simon Eyes,
who is pulling up a little lame and get a little hop, skip, and a jump there at the end, which isn't a good sign.
Clock down to 12 seconds here. You'd imagine about time for 2 more of those types of plays.
Pretty much, that's likely all we're going to have a chance at. And Simon Eyes taking his time getting back to the huddle.
Yeah, no kidding. He, like you say, was pulling up, limping a bit after that run.
I expect that's the guy they're going to be looking to connect with again. So, and he had that long return. He's probably pretty gassed at the moment to be the guy that we're going to lean on. But
4 receivers stacked out on that right side. Zyla with an empty backfield, out of the gun here, steps out of the pocket. He's got 1 man on him, beats him, throws toward the sideline. It's up and caught by Jesse Falconer.
Everybody needs to run to the line of scrimmage right now because clock is running at 3 seconds. We're only going to get 1 more play here.
Falconer with the catch inside the 50-yard line. It'll be spotted right now at the 47. And like you say, 1 more play. Really in the works for the Sun right now. Play blowing in here. They're stacking the receiver on the right side again. 4 of them there, the final play of the football game. This one up the middle of the field. That's conceded pass to Mastrodimos. He's going to go down, throw the lateral back. It's only to a lineman there. The Raiders jump on the ball, and that is the ball game.
Super disappointing, especially a few of the opportunities missed by the Sun there. Plenty of opportunities missed by the Sun there, left on the field. Really cost them the game.
It sure did, as the offense for the Sun in this one comes alive in the 4th quarter. But you know, it just proves to be a little bit too little too late for that offense, where if we'd seen some of what we saw late in the game, earlier in the game, they probably wouldn't have put themselves in a position down a touchdown here on the final drive.
Yeah, definitely. It's too bad to see us, especially seeing that roughing the kicker with 1.5 minutes left. That, a little bit of deja vu personally, but super frustrating to see that sort of a penalty have that big of an impact on a game.
Yeah, no kidding. And the impact it had, it can't really be argued as, yeah, Simon Eyes took it in for the touchdown, but was unable to have that count as the play called back on the running into the kicker penalty, like you say. So the final score here from the Apple Bowl is the VI Raiders 15, the Okanagan Sun 8.